Okay, so make sure you got your gasket in here. You can see the gasket that belongs right here. Make sure that that's in there, otherwise you're gonna have a big problem. It goes back in. You see where the hoses line right back up. Everything lines back up. So now we can start hooking up wires, plugs, and everything else. Here's the last one, and then like I said, we got new hose clamps. So we're just gonna go ahead and get those. Okay, so we got our hose clamp hose clamp for the fuel. I'm gonna get that on there. The back one first, because of course it's easier. Probably should have done that before we plugged it in. Much easier. Kind of put it in a tight spot because we got these racing seats in there, you know what I mean? So about as tight as it can go. We're probably going to have to use a socket on these, make sure they're good and tight. Okay, we'll get that one after the fact. And then we got another one. We might as well just tighten down a little bit right now while we have access to it better, you know? Okay. Can you see? Hold on. Not the easiest of places, but we make it work. Okay, so we got that all hooked up. So now, let's plug in the main wire. And then we'll plug in this wire, see if we can get a sound out of it. And then go from there. I hope we got power. So it actually did start. In the video prior, we did forget to put the black ring on, but we did actually put that on. It's exactly the reverse of the removal. You just put the gas, make sure the gasket's on, put in the pump with the retaining ring, and then put it on all the screws and wires. Then at the very end, you got to put the gasket back, just right here somewhere. Little styrofoam gasket goes around there. You have to have all the wires unplugged, put it up there, and then, you know, put it all back. Put the 4 screws back in and put the little flap down. I'm gonna fix this ground right here because it looks kind of ugly. Don't know what's going on with that. But other than that, we're good to go. You can see that the fuel pump works really well. No issues whatsoever. You can see we got everything back together. The idle's great, no check engine lights. I do have to hook up a small sensor, and our parking brake is on so we don't hit my Jeep. Other than that, the performance fuel pump, I didn't notice much of a difference in acceleration or anything like that. If anything, I would recommend that if you do get this, you might want to, I mean, it's a cheap little one, but I would still recommend you have some better fuel injectors than the stock ones in it, even though it'll work. But it seems a little hesitant at first when we first hit the throttle. You can see there's kind of a delay, not too much, but once the acceleration is, once you're already accelerating, it does seem like I got a few more horsepower out of it. Maybe not, who knows, I don't know. It seems like it is a lot better than the old original one that was in it though, so maybe it's just, you know, better filter on it, maybe it's just catching a little bit better. But it does feel like I have a lot more throttle response, especially once I'm accelerating. Overall, not too bad of a fuel pump for shit, 20, 25 bucks, something like that.